Hello and welcome to Workhorse Wrestling Network. You're gathered with us tonight for the Cookout podcast, where we usually talk about what's cooking up in the world of professional wrestling. But tonight, we are doing mid-season review of the NFL.
Yes, sir. I don't know if I call it quite mid-season yet, now that we have, however many games we have, what is it, 18, 19 weeks? But yes, we're getting close to mid-season. 1/3 of the way, let's say. So we just finished week 6, right? So, um,
I mean, teams are having their bye weeks now. It's close enough to the mid-season.
this is true. This is true. So,
Trade deadlines in
uh,
what, 3 weeks?
I think that's right. Yeah, what is it, week 8, the trade deadline or something? Isn't that so we're week 9?
It's like November 4th. I think it's November 4th.
Okay.
We're like 3 weeks away from that.
It used to be like week 8, but now with the extended season, they pushed it back. So yes, as Sammy just said, we are here for the cookout every Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 10:30 Eastern. Usually, as Sammy said, we're talking about wrestling, but tonight, as Sammy said, we're reviewing the NFL roughly midway through the season. And I guess we can just kind of get started. So here's the way I thought I would do this. I've got a couple questions for you. We can kick it off just like this. Um, who would you say at this point of the season is your biggest surprise? Like a good surprise, like happy
The
surprise, team
Colts.
that you didn't expect to be there. Really, the Colts. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had Colts bottom of that division, and I believe they're currently the top of that division. Let me just check real
Yep.
quick. Yes, they are. They are indeed the top of the division.
And I was a little hotter on the Colts, if you remember correctly. So I think I had them in second place, if not maybe winning that division.
You had them in second, and I had them in fourth.
Yeah. So for me, so far, Jacksonville, honestly, are the ones that are kind of making me eat my words because I thought they would be really bad, honestly. Not really bad, but I thought they would be poor again, and they're playing very well. And surprisingly,
I had them in second.
Hunter hasn't. Yeah. So you did. I mean, yeah, Travis Hunter hasn't necessarily been as big a part as I thought he would be. I thought for them to have the success that they've been having, he would be a bigger part. Not that he hasn't been playing well, but just I thought he would be a bigger part.
I had it on Trevor Lawrence. It was up to Trevor Lawrence to not be bad.
Yeah, they look good. Who's your biggest surprise disappointment so far? I'm curious.
Ravens.
I was going to say the same thing. It's got to be Baltimore. It's got to be Baltimore, right? And
They have the same record as the Browns right now.
And it's not even the fact that Lamar Jackson is out and that whatchamacallit is not playing well. Why am I drawing a blank on their backup's name right now? Oh my God! I just was watching it the other day. They played him for 3 quarters and then they put in Tyler Huntley. What is Cooper Rush? He used to be the Cowboys backup. Aside from that, their defense isn't playing well either, which for Baltimore is a real surprise. So I know. Don't get me wrong. It feels like in the league there are certain coaches that are kind of untouchable, especially guys with some teams. But at some point, is John Harbaugh's seat get hot at all or warm at all there in Baltimore?
I mean, if it does, another team will gladly take him. Because
no doubt.
I still think he's a top 10 coach.
I do too. I think it's an anomaly that Baltimore is this bad. We all had Baltimore potentially winning that division and going back to the Super Bowl. So for them,
I had them being like one of the teams that would potentially be in the NFC Championship. I mean, AFC Championship.
Yeah. And I think the Raiders are the worst team in the league at 0-5, 1-6, 0-5, right? 0-6 now.
No,
I have to look at it. They were 0-5. They were 0-5.
They're 2-4.
Are you sure 2-4? Really?
They're 2-4.
Okay.
Now the Jets are 0-6.
Maybe that's what it was. The Jets were 0-5 going into this week, and now they're 0-6. Yeah. That's a tough story. I didn't think the Jets would be that bad, honestly. I mean, I'm trying. I'd have to put them, but I didn't think they were going to be that bad.
I had them being the bottom of their division, but I didn't. So you want to go through the predictions that we had and compare it to how we feel now? All right.
Sure.
So for the NFC North, I had Packers, Bears, Lions, and Vikings number one. You disagreed. You had Lions number one.
Okay. And they're right now through week 7, they're the second, they're number 2 in the NFL power rankings. Behind the surprising Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Not surprising because they're playing well, but just that they're playing so well.
So currently, Lions are the only team with 4 wins, but the Packers are the only team with 1 loss.
Are you sure? I got Tampa Bay here at 5-1, it says.
Well, we're just talking about the North.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't. So this is all I'm going to say. All I'm going to say. Micah Parsons has 2.5 sacks, and Kenny Clark has 1.5 sacks. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say through week 6. That's all I'm going to say. So,
So
yes,
right
Tampa
now,
Bay
it seems like a
has
real toss up Vikings and Bears on who's the bottom of that division.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, it's tough because the Bears should be better than they are. I mean, they've got some weapons on offense, but the defense hasn't played very well.
Well, the
And
thing
yet,
is that all these teams are good.
yeah, the offensive line though too for the Bears is not holding up. Like I was watching the game the other day. Oh, yesterday against Washington, Caleb Williams was under an extreme amount of pressure most of the game. And Washington has a solid defense, but I mean they're not like so they got a lot of pressure on Caleb Williams. That offensive line needs a lot of help still. So it is what it is.
So
But yeah,
personally, I'm kind of fine with leaving the Lions in second. Like they're first or second. You had them in first, I have them in second. Like that's where the Lions belong. But the
yeah, I think
riser for this
actually
division for me is without a doubt the Packers. Like I had the bottom of the division, but having Micah really just put him over Bears for me.
yeah, I mean I think they're probably not necessarily so far his impact on the field, but I think his impact in the locker room and just the trade and the feeling like the team is going all in. We're here for this. We're going to, put all our chips in and do something like get a Micah Parsons. I think for that he probably they rise above Minnesota and Chicago. So
Well,
for me, it's Detroit,
there's also
Green
another
Bay.
aspect of something that you don't really see, but it's the same factor that like Chris Jones has on the Chiefs, where the opposing team is going to put 2 guys on that one guy, which allows more openings for your other players to get opportunities.
No doubt. He's a guy you absolutely have to game plan for. And so when you do that and you have to pay attention to him all the time, other guys have more opportunities. No doubt about that for sure. So that's how he helps the defense all the way around. And that's why the Packers defense is playing better than it was. I mean, even though his numbers aren't through the roof, well, that's because he gets double teamed. And, I make the joke that, he has 2.5 sacks and Kenny Clark has 1.5. But the reality is he's getting double teamed and all those things. I mean, and then he's taking on their best offensive linemen most of the time, those kind of things. So yeah, I mean, and the team is playing better. The real example is that the Packers have I'd have to look at it, but they have one of the higher ranked defenses in the league now, and the Cowboys probably have the 30th ranked defense in the league at the moment. So that's all you need to know. I'm not saying that that's the Micah Parsons effect, but I mean, to a certain extent, some of that is there, and just from the emotional part of it, right? The deflation on the Cowboy side from losing him, the upside of the Packers of getting him, just the name, the recognition, your team making the move, your team getting a guy instead of losing a guy, all those things. Just no matter what his play is on the field, and of course, the play is still dynamic. So, all those other things though. So yeah, I mean, for me, the Packers are probably number 2 in that division, right with Minnesota. I think they're and then the Bears, unfortunately, at the bottom of that division.
I, I, it's a big question with the Vikings on does JJ get better the more he plays? Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
he's already been hurt this year, hasn't he? Like, wasn't he out
Yeah,
for a
he
couple
wasn't.
weeks?
Yeah, he hasn't played the last 3 weeks. I don't think so.
Yeah. So, like, there's an asterisk next to the Vikings. Like,
As there is
well,
everybody, right? But yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
that's
that's a tough one.
this is definitely a division that we'll have to check back in on later because right now it's very up in the air and like any team could still pull ahead.
Yeah, I think Detroit's still the cream of the crop in that division. But yeah,
I mean, they get so many injuries though. Like
Yeah.
even when they were playing the Chiefs on Sunday, they had like 6 people out, and 2 of those were their corners. Like
Yeah.
they play hard ball, and unfortunately, along with that, a lot of their players don't make it the entire season.
No doubt.
All right. Moving on, we'll go to the AFC North, which we've already said it before. Ravens were our number one. And although they're like bottom of the division right now, Lamar's going to be back after the bye week. So
Right.
I'd still put him number 2 in that division.
Ooh, that's tough. Man.
They
Yeah, I
might
mean,
miss the playoffs,
yeah,
but I don't think they
yeah,
win the division now.
yeah. No, I don't think they win the division. That's for sure. I mean, that'll be very interesting. I'd be interested to see. I mean, the Bengals' defense is terrible, so I don't have any faith in them at all. The Browns'
And
offense,
the
I
Bengals
think
quarterback is out for the entire season. He ain't coming back. Lamar's coming back. Joe's
really,
not
yeah,
coming back.
Joe's
If
not
he
coming
if
back.
he does come back, he might make the last 2 games of the season. But at that point, you're
But
risking him hurting himself again.
every time in my life I've bet against the Steelers, they've come back to bite me in the ass. And Aaron Rodgers in a Steelers uniform looks pretty nice at the moment.
Hey,
So, and that,
I had him in second.
they're sitting at the top of that division. So, for me, it's going to be tough for Baltimore to win that division. They're going to have a real fall from Pittsburgh. And Mike Tomlin doesn't really have collapses like that. So, it wouldn't surprise me. I think Pittsburgh wins that division. I guess Baltimore, if they turn it around when Lamar Jackson comes, I could see because that division is so bad between Cincinnati and Cleveland at the bottom, being the other 2 teams that they could end up in second place just by default. But yeah, I mean, if Cincinnati can get any kind of play, from the backup, was it Sam Darnold, right? Wasn't it Sam Darnold that's been playing? Or no?
No, Sam Darnold's the quarterback for the Seahawks.
You're right. You're right. Why am I drawing a blank on the guy's name?
He's won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, is it Flacco? No, no, he's with.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
Flacco.
he is with Cincinnati. No, that's right. So yeah,
He's one of the 5 quarterbacks in the league that has won a Super Bowl. The other ones being Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Matthew Stafford, and Aaron Rodgers.
yeah. So I mean, if they can get something from him and they can hopefully turn something around with that defense, but I don't think so. I think they're going to be 3-4. Cleveland or Cincinnati 3, Cleveland 4 when that division's over. Probably Baltimore at 2, and I think the Steelers probably end up kind of running away with it.
Yeah.
Probably would be my
I
guess.
think that the Bengals with Flacco could still be over the Browns, but that's the only one. I think
Yeah,
that once Lamar comes back,
yeah,
that the Ravens will be able to get that second place in the division.
yeah, yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
Do you have the Bengals or the Browns at number 4? Because this is the Bengals with Flacco and not with Burrow.
Yeah, no, I think I got the Browns at 4. They're just a mess, unfortunately. They just can't get it together. I mean, they just yeah. I
I
mean,
mean,
and when
any given week they can beat a team that they should not be able to beat.
yeah, and when when you think about just everything that they miss on all the time. I mean, and don't get me wrong, they're not the only team that missed on him, but they had Baker Mayfield, and now Tampa Bay. He looks really good there. And again, some of
Oh,
that, a lot of that stuff has to do with being on the right team, right? Bad teams are bad teams, and that's why they pick high, and that's why these guys struggle. Cleveland was never in a position to make Baker Mayfield successful. But they have a solid defense, though. That's the thing is their defense isn't bad. It's just their offense is so terrible. I mean,
Mayfield got them a win in the playoffs.
he did, which was amazing for a city like Cleveland and a team like the Browns. It's been a very long time. So
I mean, even
yeah, no,
making the playoffs is a big win for the Browns. Winning a playoff game, like some teams haven't done that in decades. Like the
yeah,
Jets, the Jets haven't done that since what, like 96?
yeah. I mean, I have to look at that, but yeah, it's been a long time.
Maybe it was 2003, but it was a long time ago, is what I'm getting
Right.
at.
Yeah, 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 for sure. No, I mean, I think Cleveland ends up in the 4th spot probably, and they probably have the 2nd or 3rd worst record in the league when it's all said and done.
I
And
don't
then
know. There's quite a few teams competing for that worst spot position.
the Cincinnati, and then the Ravens will come in second, but I think the Steelers end up quietly kind of running away with that division. I see if the Ravens can get back to 800 or 500 at this point, 8-8 or 9-7, that'll be a very successful season. I think the Steelers win 10 games this year. I think the Steelers win 10 games in that division this year.
Yeah,
They're gonna
I could
beat up
definitely see
Cleveland and
Ravens going
Cincinnati by
8-9, 9-8 once Lamar gets back.
yeah. Yeah.
The thing is I don't see the Browns or the Bengals being able to go 8-9.
No. And the Steelers get to beat up on the Browns and the Bengals 2 times each. So that's roughly 4 wins roughly for the Steelers.
Yeah, but the Steelers
But
look like a 10-7 win team.
yeah, I agree. 10 to 11 wins at this point. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers can stay healthy. Yeah, DK Metcalf looked really good the other day on Sunday.
I mean, as long as DK doesn't get hurt, Rodgers doesn't get hurt, and the tight end doesn't get hurt, like I don't see how this team doesn't make the playoffs.
No, I agree.
As long as those 3 guys stay healthy.
Yeah, I mean, with the way the Baltimore's playing, I think they win that division, the Steelers. So. Oh.
All right. Up next, we're going to the East. Now, so I had Giants in last, Cowboys in third, Commanders in second, and Eagles in first. But here's the thing is that this division is so much more even than I anticipated it being before the season started.
Yeah.
Like, Giants had a horrible start, but once Jackson Dart got in, like, okay, like, if it wasn't for those 3 losses to start off the season, they might actually have a shot.
Yeah. No, I mean, Jackson Dart looks good. I mean, I like Jackson Dart. He's very interesting. Even though they're in 3rd place, I think the Cowboys have looked like the worst team in that division. Unfortunately, at least defensive wise, they're definitely the worst team in that division.
I mean, Dak and Pickens are having a great year.
Offensively, they look okay, and Javonte Williams is running the ball well, but they just can't stop anybody. I mean, it doesn't matter if you put 50 points up if the other team puts up 60. So, and they just can't stop anybody. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Eberflus is, I don't think he's a bad coach. The defense he's playing right now, either it's the lack of guys or it's something, I don't know what it is, but it can't, I mean, I understand the Micah Parsons effect, but it can't just be the loss of one guy. Like, you had a solid defense last year. I mean, yeah, losing one guy, and I know he's considered the best player in the league, on defense, but still, it's like you still have a whole bunch of other guys. You know what I mean? Like, that should be solid NFL players. That's why they're there. So, again, it is what it is. But yeah, and I think the Cowboys, even though their record doesn't have them, they're probably number 4 in that division right now. I think the Giants are a little bit better than them. They're just in a slightly better spot, I think. And then, unfortunately, both the Eagles and the Commanders are better than both teams. So the Eagles are close, though. I mean, unfortunately, the Eagles aren't running away with it. They've had a little bit of a stumble at 4-2, and with the Washington at 3-3. Other than the fucking tie, I still can't. Why do we have ties? Like, really? A tie?
Well, I mean,
A fucking tie?
baseball doesn't have ties, and they went into a 6th overtime. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to be up till like 2 a.m. watching football because the 2 teams can't stop tying each other.
Yeah, but at the same time, you got to have a winner because a tie is bullshit. It just is what it is. I don't.
I mean, they could
don't like
bring
a
back the
tie.
sudden death. Next team that scores a point wins.
I'm slightly better with that. I mean, the only complaint is that both teams should get a chance to hold the ball in theory. But hey, if you can't stop them and you can't stop them, then you deserve to lose the game in theory. It just makes the coin toss that much more important. But yeah, I mean, but a tie and it does nothing for us in the standings because now we don't have a win or a loss. The tie that's floating out there in the ether that does nothing for us. So
It's
it
better
puts
than
us
a
a spot
loss.
It puts us a spot against the Giants, a spot higher than the Giants, I guess, right now, currently in 3rd place. But
Yeah.
so. But no, I mean, I don't think I will at this point. It looks like probably the only team making the playoffs from that division is going to be whoever wins the division.
Which is crazy. But yeah, I agree with you. Like,
the Giants are playing better than we thought they were. The Cowboys are playing worse than they thought they were, and I think the Steelers or the Redskins are playing, or Commanders, wow, are playing a little bit worse than I thought they would. I thought the Commanders would be a
Oh,
little bit better.
only because of injuries. Other than
Yeah,
their injuries, I think Commanders have played exactly as I thought they would.
yeah, yeah. I think
The Eagles are playing worse than I thought they would, though. So, like, I
yeah,
had
Eagles
Eagles over the
played.
Commanders, but it feels like Eagles and Commanders are just neck and neck, and I don't know who's going to actually win this division.
Yeah, I don't see a wild card coming out of that division.
Not right now, no.
So
Especially when you look at the other divisions.
yeah, yep,
All right, so AFC East. Um, so the Bills just lost twice in a row,
yeah. That's
and the
weird
Patriots are
division,
now
right?
leading that division.
Yeah, very weird, very weird, very weird. And honestly, even though I still think one of the biggest surprises for me so far is just how bad. Unfortunately, I hate to say this to my wife right here, how bad the Dolphins have been. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't expect them to like win the division, but I had them in second place. I thought they would be good. They were good last year. I thought they'd be better this year. Tyreek Hill is obviously out for the season, which is a big deal. So that's a huge loss.
I
And
mean,
even
I was
though,
hot on the Patriots, and people were like telling me like they're not going to be that good, and it's like I feel like I was pretty accurate about them. Like I still think the Bills are going to win this division, but like I had Patriots as one of those possible uh, wild card teams, and the way that the Patriots are playing, they're looking like a possible wild card team right now to me.
yeah, I mean, and if Buffalo doesn't get it together, they could quietly win that division. I mean, just because at this point, with Miami and the Jets being as bad as they are at the moment, it's really just Buffalo and those, and what you call it. So, they could quietly win that division if Buffalo doesn't take care of business. So, and
Mhm.
I mean, Drake May looks really good, right? So, um, yeah, that team looks good so far. I'm very impressed with the way that Mike Vrabel has them playing. He has them playing Vrabel style football, right? So, and they look good.
Yeah, one thing I've been doing online is whenever people say Chiefs have been winning too much, I'm just like, well, sorry you feel that way, but get ready for another 15-year Patriot dynasty because that's coming.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I don't know if I feel quite like that about it, but at the moment, they definitely coming
I
around.
don't know. Vrabel and May, they make it look like it's easy. Like,
Yeah,
here's their wide receiver one, Stephon Diggs. Like,
yeah, right, yeah, yeah,
wait until that team gets more weapons. Like, they are going to be a threat.
yeah. Yep. No, and it's a little sad just because that division is unfortunately, and I think certainly, I mean, I like Tua, but I just don't know if I'm seeing like the development that I was hoping for. And they give Mike McDaniel's a lot. I mean, he gets a lot of flack for not being,
Mm.
like an aggressive enough head coach, not play calling wise, but like with the team, like making them
I'm
practice
seeing
hard
I'm
enough.
seeing development, but unfortunately,
Like
the
Dalvin Cook.
development I'm seeing is him developing brain trauma.
Yeah, which isn't very funny, but yes. No, I mean he's definitely had several concussions, and that's definitely something to look out for. I mean, another concussion potentially could be his career. I mean, at this point, I mean, you don't
Yeah.
know, so you got to. But he doesn't play like that. I just mean like I want more from him as like the leader of that offense, and it doesn't
Hmm.
seem like that's happening. And maybe that's a coaching issue. Maybe Mike doesn't want to give it up. I don't know. Maybe there's some sort of disconnect there. But
Oh, oh, I definitely think he's getting fired.
yeah, I do too. Oh yeah, for sure. I think this is the last game, the last season for Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy. I mean Mike McDaniel's. I'll be surprised if he
Yeah.
makes it through the season if they continue to
Eh,
lose. Honestly.
Mike McCarthy might have just found a job.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, yeah, that'd be
Titans
interesting.
letting their coach go. Like,
Yeah, it's definitely tough right now for some teams, for sure. I mean, even though I don't, they never would, and they're not, in the position of some teams like the Jets or whatever, or I the Schottenheimer, I don't think has definitely Schottenheimer hasn't done anything to ingratiate himself to me so far in Dallas. So I don't know. We'll have to see what ends up happening. But
All
yeah, I mean,
right.
where we going?
Uh, so was the Patriots a big surprise for you then? Or is the bigger surprise Buffalo not being as dominant?
But for me, honestly, the biggest surprise in that division, honestly, is just how down the Dolphins have been. Really, I mean, I thought they would be higher in that division. I thought that it would be the Dolphins in second place in that division with the Patriots nipping right at their heels. I didn't think the Patriots would be this good this quick necessarily. I thought there might be a little bit more development time there for Drake May. And like you said, with only a Stephon Diggs and not really a whole lot else, I thought maybe, Buffalo was probably going to run away with this division. But hey, quietly, like you said, the Patriots are in first place. And like if Buffalo doesn't handle their section, then they're going to be it's going to be a dog race at the end. So, and it doesn't look like
Mm-hmm.
Miami is, and it's not going to include Miami or the Jets at this point. So, yeah, no, I mean, it doesn't. I mean, yes, they are a surprise to me, but the biggest surprise in that division, unfortunately, is just how disappointed I am in Miami. Unfortunately,
All right. Well, let's move it out west. NFC. So I had the Seahawks in fourth, which you disagreed with, and you were correct.
yeah, yeah, the Seahawks look good so far.
There's a three-way tie in this division. So
Yeah.
who I had in third is in fact fourth. 49ers, you had them number one. So far they've looked like they're the number one, but unfortunately those injuries are getting to them again.
Hmm.
And like they lost Fred Warner for the season. Fred Warner, the number one linebacker, one of their key pieces.
And Nick Bosa.
Kittle's
And,
Kittle's been
and
injured. Now Purdy's injured. Like the only like key piece to their team that's not injured is what the running back and maybe their left tackle. Is their left tackle injured?
no,
He's not?
not
Okay.
that,
So they got their left
not
tackle and the running back.
yeah, not that I'm aware of. Yeah, I mean they still got McCaffrey on the field. So as long I guess as long as you can roll him out, whatever the case may be. But yeah, I mean Kittle's coming back week 6, but I don't know when Brock Purdy's coming back. And they've lost both Bosa and Warner, their two defensive line mainstay, and their
Mm-hmm.
linebacker, out for the season. So I mean, I don't think there's a team that's been hit with injuries worse so far than the 49ers, at least the big name players. I think they've been hit the worst so far. And and yet here we are still at the top of that division. We'll see how long that lasts. But
Yeah.
uh,
But with all these injuries, I might be forced to put him in third.
Seattle is nipping at their heels, and the Rams don't look bad. I mean, the Rams are right there. So I mean, they're
Oh
all
yeah. I had Rams as the number one. I'm keeping Rams as the number one. I believe in the Rams. Even though they left me, even though they broke my heart and left, I still have them as number one.
I'm going to say that the biggest disappointment in that division has to be Arizona at this point. Like, I mean, you've got tools there, and you just can't seem to make it work. You've had several coaches now with Kyler Murray, and it doesn't seem to matter who it is. It just isn't working, and I don't know if it's time to try to move on from what's going on. I mean, they're almost in a position where it's like, yeah, I don't. You got to really take a hard look at what you got going on there because it's not working.
Yeah. I think they have a good looking team. Like, I don't think that their coach is the best. And Tyler, I mean, I like him, but I don't think he's a quarterback that can take you to the Super Bowl. But I like him.
Yeah.
Like, if he was a backup, he'd be the best backup, I believe.
Yeah, I mean those are tough decisions because as a football team, you gotta always want to try to get better and move forward and win, right? And if you're looking at your team and you're going, "This is a team that just isn't winning," I don't know why, but they're not. I mean, at some point you got to do something, right? Like, he's a solid guy, he's a good team leader, but he just doesn't win games like that. I mean,
Mhm.
Kyler Murray just isn't translating into winning games, and it's not all on him. I mean, it's not all on the quarterback. I'm just saying, like I don't know. It's tough at some point, and because they are the big, kind of the big figure of the team, and they make a lot of money and all those things and all the hype around them and all, and it's just yeah. So Arizona's very disappointing to me. Very surprising that the Niners have been able to weather the injuries that they've had and still continue to win. And the Rams and the Seahawks are essentially what I thought they would be. I mean, I thought I thought the Seahawks would be good, and
Seahawks are
Rams
better
are
than I
solid.
thought they would be. I was like, they're not going to be able to do much with that paper thin O line, but that O line
Has held
has
up.
been. It's. I mean, it's not the best, but it's doing enough to get the job done.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree. And the coaching has been very solid. So yeah, I mean,
Oh
that's
yeah,
a very tough division.
Seattle always has good coaching.
That's a tough division. I think they're going to get 2 playoff teams out of there, and it could end up with 3 potentially. I mean, I don't see 2 wild cards coming out of the same division, but I
I
think
don't
the West
know
is
that
very
the
close.
North exists.
It does. But I do think there's 2 teams coming out of that division.
All right, moving on to the West. Broncos and Chargers have one more win than the Chiefs do,
Yeah,
but also the Chiefs have had a lot of close games to where like Butker making his field goal kick would have been them winning their games.
yeah.
So I honestly,
And
all 3 of
I,
those teams could be in the playoffs. Like
and
there two could be 2 wild cards still from the West.
yeah, I mean, I have more faith, I think, in the Chargers, just because I really like Jim Harbaugh, and I think they're a very well coached team. But than I do in whatchamacallit. But I think when it all
Well,
comes out in the wash, Kansas City and the Chargers are going to be at the top of that division. I think Denver will end up in 3rd place. I think they're playing a little above their head. I mean, I like Bo Nick,
you got to
but
keep in mind who the other coaches in this division are. You got
yeah, no,
Andy Reid, you got Sean Payton,
Tom Payton,
and then you
yep,
got Pete Carroll, who is the worst coach in the division. And Pete Carroll's a freaking legend.
yeah, yeah. No, I mean it might be the strongest coaching division in the NFL as far as just from top to bottom, solid coaches on every single head coach on every single team. But yeah, no,
When
I mean,
Pete Carroll
here's the
is the
problem.
worst coach in the division, like, jeez.
The problem with Kansas City, at least as I've seen it, and I've only watched 2 of their games, but the 2 games that I watched and the one highlight that I watched was that they don't really have a running game. I mean, Isaiah Pacheco is okay. He's a solid, okay back, but they don't have anyone dynamic. And even
No.
even at the wide receiver position, Worthy is solid, but he's quick, but I don't know that I call him dynamic. He's more dynamic than Hollywood Brown. Hollywood Brown is a little bit one
Um,
note. He did take. He's a downfield. Take the top off the.
so this week we will have the return of Rashi Rice.
Okay, which will help. That should help.
Yeah,
That
he's
should help
our
a
wide
lot.
receiver 1 and also our slot wide receiver.
Yeah, so that should help
So,
a lot. But you got to get a
yeah,
running back. You got to get a better running back there. He just
yeah.
doesn't have enough weapons. But yeah, I mean, Patrick Mahomes right now is essentially kind of in that Tom Brady zone where like you're so good, but you don't have anybody around you, but you still win because you're so good type of situation. Like that's where Tom was for a lot of his career, and that's where Patrick Mahomes seems to be for at this point, which can be a symptom sometimes of having to pay a guy X amount of dollars when your quarterback is making $45 million a season or whatever and you're limited in what you can pay for other star super players,
Well,
right? So
another thing is that Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes have in common is they are paid a lot less than other quarterbacks.
yeah, there. And they both are willing to
Like,
take less at times to win.
I believe that Patrick Mahomes is the 13th highest paid quarterback, and he is not the 13th best quarterback.
No,
That's for sure.
no, and I remember Tom Brady taking a pay cut to bring in Randy Moss when they brought him in,
Hmm.
so that because he wanted to win and do what you do. But Mahomes needs help. I mean, Mahomes is going to find a way to win because he's Patrick, because he's whatever. But like, he needs help. The fact that he doesn't have more help is a crime, at the moment. I mean, and I'd say that, and they've won 2 Super Bowls or 3 Super Bowls in the last 5 years or whatever it is that they've won, right? So and 2 in a row or something. So I mean,
I mean, they
you
made
need
it
a
to
way to
the
get it done.
Super Bowl last year with their wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, halfback 1, and halfback 2 all injured. and they were relying on a rookie receiver, and they made it to the Super Bowl on a rookie receiver and an aging Kelsey.
Yeah. So I mean, the reality is that he's going to find some way to do it. But if you give him any kind of weapons, man, he would be extremely dangerous. So.
Oh yeah, if he had a top 5 wide receiver on the team like that, oh man, like, well, I mean, they used to have Tyreek Hill. We saw what that was like.
Yeah. I mean, luckily the Raiders are there, so they get to play the Raiders twice, and I think that they'll beat. They
Yeah,
But yeah, no,
so it's
that's
going to be in Arrowhead East this week, and then to close out the season, they're going to be in Arrowhead West, beating the Raiders in Vegas.
Arrowhead West. Yeah, no, I mean this is a very tough division. At this point, I don't know who shakes out. Right? It's going to be. I mean, I think they're going to be. I think it's going to be Kansas City finds a way to get to the top of that division just because they do. But it's going to be.
I mean, unless one of either the Chargers or the Broncos like just go on a tear and like win, 13, 14 games.
Yeah, I mean, I could see for me more like I think that it feels like the Chargers are playing where they should be playing. It feels like the Broncos are playing above their head. So I have a feeling the Broncos come down to earth a little bit and end up a little bit closer to the 500 team I think they're going to be by the time the season's over. And that probably puts them in the third place in that division, would be my guess. They're a 7 or 8 win team, I think, the Broncos. I don't think they're 4-2. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of an anomaly at this point, but we'll see.
I mean,
Bo Nix and Cortland Sutton don't instill a
I
whole
said
lot.
I saw the Chiefs as a 12 to 13 win team. They've already lost 3, so that only allows them to lose 1 or 2 more games in order for my prediction to be right.
Yeah, it looks more like a 10
But
to
with the
11
Chiefs,
win.
that's a very possible thing.
Yeah,
Like, we're going to lose to the Bills probably because, like, we always lose during the season to the Bills. Like, that's like tradition. So, for my prediction to be right, we could only lose to 1 more team.
yeah, this is true. What do we got left? The NFC South and the AFC South. Yep, the Souths. You
Um,
ready?
yeah.
Yeah.
I was just trying to think of what is there any surprise from the West, but
Let's
no,
see.
there definitely was not any surprises from the AFC West. All right, so
No,
NFC South.
for me, like I said, I think he's a little surprised. I think Denver's playing above their head. I didn't expect them to be 4-2, but yes, I mean, I wouldn't call it a major surprise, but they're,
Well, I mean, that's
with
something
Sean
we
Payton, you
disagreed
can
on
never,
because I had the Broncos over the Chargers.
and with a coach like Sean Payton, you can never rule anything out, right? So, I
Yeah.
mean, you
But
never count them out.
they have such a good secondary. Like if
Yeah,
you're
they do.
when it
Yeah,
comes to pass defense, they're great. And
they can,
like Chargers had the better pass rush, but like
defensively, the Broncos can get you into a game where you have to throw the ball, you're in trouble. If
mhm.
they can get you down enough where you have to throw the ball and you have to abandon the run, or you're a team that can't run, you're going to be in a lot of trouble because their secondary is very, very good. All right. So, yeah, let's see.
Yeah, the Broncos are going to be a headache for my team.
Yeah. Are we talking about NFC South or AFC South first?
Yeah, NFC South. So
Yeah. I mean,
I, according to the standings, I was right.
Buck. I mean, man, I can't say
So
that.
bottom of the division is the Saints. They're 1-5, and they are competing to get that number 1 draft pick. Although the Jets are giving them a tighter race than I thought the Jets were gonna for that number 1 draft pick.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Uh,
I agree. The Saints are
Panth-
bad.
Panthers are 3-3.
And they just beat my Cowboys. Fuckers.
The Falcons are 3-2. They've played 1 less game than the Panthers, but they have the same number of wins. So depending on where this next game goes, like if the Falcons can win their next game, they will secure that number 2 spot, which I had them in.
Yeah, I think this is the easiest division to pick at this point. I think Tampa Bay runs away with this division. I will be
Oh, I
very
felt that
surprised.
way before the season started.
I'll be surprised if there's another team that ends up over 500 in this division at this point. I mean, yes, Atlanta looks like they will, but they wouldn't surprise me at 7-9, or I'm sorry, 7-10, or not, 8-8 and
Yeah.
9. I mean, yeah.
Falcons and
Michael,
Panthers both look pretty well like 7 and 10 teams.
yeah, I mean, Michael Penix is a solid. It looks decent, but he's still struggling. I mean, he has moments of where he looks really good, and then moments where it's like, oh, you threw that ball. So he definitely needs some more time to become. I thought he'd be better than this,
Yeah.
honestly, when I saw him in college already. But he needs more time to develop in the NFL for sure. They're struggling.
Uh, both of these teams will probably be in wild card contention of like, oh, if this team and this team and this team lose
They
and
lose
this team wins their next 2 games, they could be in the wild
in the hunt,
card,
in the hunt,
in the hunt,
on the
in the hunt.
on the bubble.
Yeah. Panthers and Falcons will probably be on the bubble.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. There's no real surprises in this division except honestly, how good the Bucks have looked. I mean, Baker Mayfield just continues to amaze me every time I see them play. Man,
I like them more and more each season.
I do too. I do too. And he just has that it factor, right? Where you're just like,
And the fact that he still lives rent free in the lines after all these years. He was a local guy. He grew up in the town, like 5 minute walk away from the campus is where he grew up. The team didn't want him. The team didn't recruit him. He goes and plays for Oklahoma, where he beats your butts season after season. And
yeah,
now, like, I'm sorry, Longhorns, but that's on y'all. He
yeah.
literally grew up outside your campus gates, and you didn't want him.
And I'm going to say something that I don't know anything about the guy, so it's not from a personal perspective at all. But like, it's nice to see somebody who looked like he was going to potentially be another bust get an opportunity to turn it around with a team where he actually has time to show, because of a decent offensive line and decent ownership and a good team and winning philosophy that, and a solid head coach that he can actually be a quality NFL quarterback. I mean, there was a lot of doubt about that. And, whether it was his head, personality, ability, whatever it was, there was a lot of doubt about that. And just to see him turn it around, I don't know anything about him as a person, whether that's good or bad, but whatever the case may be, it seems like he's got his personal life off the field that he didn't have in check, a little bit more in check now in Tampa Bay as he's getting older. And yeah, he's playing amazing football. I mean, it's the Bucks are definitely the best team in that division for sure.
If I
So
had to be a fan of a team besides my own, like they are definitely a contender for that. Like if I had to be a fan of a team, like
Tampa Bay is a solid team. I mean, can't go wrong with Tampa Bay.
well, they're not just a solid team, they're also a fun team.
Yeah,
Like
which is very interesting because they were really bad for a lot of years. A lot of years. They were kind of the heels of the division or the league for a lot of years. They had those ugly, ugly, like light orange uniforms. Remember that? I don't know. Well, you're young, so you probably don't remember.
the orange creamsicles.
Yeah, in the late
I
'80s and the
love those
early '90s,
uniforms.
they were
Those are my
terrible.
favorites. I love them.
That team and organization was really bad in the late '80s and the early '90s. So yeah, it's nice to see them get an opportunity to turn it around and
Now the
come
uniform that I hate is the Seahawks. That highlighter green uniform. Oh, that makes my eyes want to vomit.
Dude, the Steelers, or not the Steelers, the Commanders uniform from Monday Night Football. I was watching that. That's a nice uniform. That's a
Hmm.
nice uniform. I was like, okay. It's a sharp look. I like the lines above and below the names on the back. Like that's new. I was like, sharp looking uniform. I appreciate, yeah. But yeah, no, I mean the Bucks look really good. I appreciate the Bucks. So and Baker Mayfield getting a chance to show out that he can actually be. So yeah.
The
Uh,
Commanders are a weird team because I feel like there's not that many good players on the team. Like, yeah, they have their quarterback, but like Scary Terry's like already 30. Like, how many more years is he gonna play? Bobby
yep, he does.
Wagner. I mean, Debo's what 28.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, but I mean, I think they still got some very solid, pieces. I mean, what do
Well,
they say? Their
it
prime
really comes down
athletically is
to who they
27
end
to
up drafting
32.
in the future,
Yeah.
because a lot of their players aren't going to be in the league in 5 years.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. But I mean, I guess I could see that potentially. ESPN has the Bucks at number one in their power rankings, 5-1. I guess there's only
I do
five and
not
one.
blame them.
I guess they're the only 5-1 team in the league, actually, right? So,
They're looking better than the Eagles.
oh no, the Colts are
They're
five and
looking
one
better
too.
than the Bills.
The Colts are 5-1 too. They're number four in the power rankings. They're 5-1
Yeah,
as
but if
well.
you had to choose between the Bucks and
The Colts. I'm taking the Bucks right now. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. They've got your team, number 9 at 3-3.
hmm
You're number 9 in
Yeah,
the
we're
current
we're we're
overall
th-
power ranking.
we're 3-3. Give it a couple weeks. We'll be in the top 5.
Yeah, we're like 21. The Cowboys are like 21. So
If the Chiefs end up beating the Bills during the regular season this year, we are jumping up that list. But I assume we're going to lose that game.
all right, so that was the NFC South. We determined it's the Bucks, basically nobody else. I don't think a wild card's coming out of that division. Not when you think about the other divisions.
No, I believe that the Panthers and the Falcons will be bubble teams, but not
Right.
actually make the wild card.
Yeah, I agree. AFC South, huh? That's our next little venture here. It's Indianapolis.
Well, so I thought the Colts would be doing the worst, but the Colts are in fact doing the best.
Yeah, no, I think I had the Colts. Did I? You'd have to tell me if you write it down, but I think I might have picked them to win that division. I'm not sure, but I know I had.
You had them in second.
Okay, I know I had Jacksonville at the bottom of that division, and then
No,
got.
you had Jacksonville in third.
Oh, did I? Did I have?
Yeah.
I had the Titans at the bottom.
Mm-hmm. And I had the Titans in third.
Okay, interesting. So yeah, Jacksonville's a space above. They're playing better than I thought they would. Um,
They're playing a space above where. No, no,
yeah,
no, no. They are exactly where I assumed them to be. They are exactly where I assumed them to be. The Texans
they're
are just doing worse than I assumed them to be. I had them at number one. They're in third.
Jacksonville is a space above where I thought they would be, but the 4-2 record is better than I thought they'd be at that space. Like you know what I mean? Like I didn't think they'd be
Oh
four and
yeah, you assumed like 3-3.
yeah, or even whatever that division was just going to be really bad, and they might be 2-4 and third. So that division had the potential to be really bad when you looked at it kind of on paper.
Yes.
So for the fact that Jacksonville is 4-2 and that the Colts are 5-1, that's a big deal. It's not a surprise to me ultimately. It is. I mean, I guess the biggest surprise probably is Houston at 2-3, but even then, I mean, it's that division isn't very good. So uh, it's bad for CJ Stroud. Houston's got to do something because Stroud's a solid player. I mean, they've got some
Oh
decent
yeah.
players there. I mean, their coach. I like their coach. I mean, D'Amico Ryans is a solid coach, right? So like, it,
Um. So what I'm realizing is maybe the Texans' defense isn't as good as I thought it was.
yeah,
Their O line is exactly what I thought it was, though.
yeah, they have a hard time keeping CJ up sometimes. So yeah, he's taking a lot of pressure. So which is tough. Um, so yeah, no, I mean, I thought Indianapolis was going to be good. I thought the Texans were going to win that division, and the Jacksonville obviously would be third, and Tennessee would be fourth. So I had Tennessee in the right spot. Tennessee's, what they are, unfortunately. Yeah, they're about where we expected them to be. So
What a weird season.
what a weird season.
All
What
right.
else? Anything
So
else?
our predictions.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
So going off of what things are looking like right now, uh, who do you think makes it into the playoffs for the NFC?
Ooh, NFC playoffs. So I think I have a feeling that when it's all said and done, the Eagles will be there in some way, shape, or form, either as a wild card or winning the NFC East. The Lions are probably. I think the Lions end up winning the NFC North, so they'll be there. I could see the Packers making it as a wild card team from the NFC North. The Bucks are going to be in for sure. I don't think there's a wild card team coming out of the South. And there's probably two teams coming out of the West. I don't know if it'll be the Niners with all the injuries now. I could see that flipping and it being the Seahawks and the Rams, maybe. The Seahawks, either one of those two teams winning that division, and then the wild card coming out of there. So I see one of the two wild cards coming out of the West, and one of them probably coming out of the North. It's either going to be the North or the East. It'll either be the Commanders or the Packers that'll be that second wild card team behind either the Seahawks or the Rams, I would think.
Yeah, I'm fairly consistent with you on that. So I would say Rams and Seahawks,
Mm-hmm.
Buccaneers,
Yep.
Packers and Lions. Then you got an East team, and then there's that seventh spot, and I'm like, who does that seventh spot go to?
Yeah.
Like, but I feel
Oh,
fairly
yeah, because there's
confident
three
in,
wild cards, right? Yeah, there's three wild card teams, right? Yeah.
yeah. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, who gets that last spot? I don't think it's going to be the Falcons and the Panthers. It,
No.
like it
No.
potentially could be another North team, Vikings, Bears. It
Yep.
potentially could be the 49ers, and it potentially could be the Commanders or the Cowboys or the Giants. Like
Yeah,
there's
it
a
could.
lot of
It
people
could be.
who it's like it
Yeah,
could be them.
definitely. No. What about the AFC?
Oh,
Um,
AFC, uh, that's even more difficult. Like so, Bills and Patriots. I'm going to go ahead and put both of them down. Steelers,
yeah,
Ravens. I had, but I'm taking Ravens off. I think Ravens will be like a game away from making the playoffs.
yeah, I agree with that.
Um,
Right. The Colts are definitely
Chiefs,
making the playoff. Well, the Colts are making the playoffs from the South for sure. The question is whether they get two teams from there. Jacksonville making the playoffs. I don't know what
Colts,
the Colts
and
maybe, but
so you got
Jacksonville is a
the
wild card.
Chargers, Broncos,
And
and
all,
Jags
all three of those teams down the
competing
south.
for the last two spots. I don't know who gets it, but I think the Jags will look like they might be on that bubble there with the Broncos and the Chargers.
Looking at this, I think the West, I think the AFC West gets two wild card teams. I think both the Chargers, the Broncos, and the Chiefs might all make it in. And then everyone else
Hmm.
is stuck struggling. I mean, there might be, maybe it'll be New England that gets that third wild card or Jacksonville. I think it'll come down to Jacksonville and New England to get that third wild card. But nobody else has. I mean,
Oh,
Houston and
I
Tennessee are
said
making the
it
playoffs.
in stone of like I thought the Patriots would get it.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Houston and Tennessee are not making the playoffs. Cleveland and
no,
Baltimore, I don't think are making the playoffs at this point. And
mm-mm.
Cincinnati's not making the playoffs. The Jets and the Dolphins aren't making the playoffs. So
I think that the
you
Ravens
really,
just miss it. I think the Ravens will be a game away from being a playoff team.
yeah. So really, you've got the Pittsburgh Steelers winning the North, and that's it. You got the Colts winning the South, and maybe Jacksonville. And then you've got Buffalo or the Patriots probably winning up there in one team. Yeah, I think three teams probably get in from the West. I think probably the Chargers, the Broncos, and the Chiefs all sneak in somehow.
Unless
And
the
crazy enough,
Jaguars can sneak in over one of those two teams.
yeah, because you got the Patriots in. I think the Jaguars could sneak in over the Patriots. It'll come down to I think the Patriots and the Jaguars for that third. Because I think
Mm,
Buffalo will end up winning that division probably. But now, if
yeah.
the Patriots end up sneaking in and winning that division somehow, I think Buffalo probably ends up being in the playoffs over one of the three teams from the West, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
I don't know that the Patriots knock out one of the teams for the West for me, but if it goes the other way, where Buffalo ends up winning that division, or if Buffalo the Patriots win that division, I think Buffalo can knock out one of those teams from the AFC West. So I think Buffalo gets in if they're in second place in that division. But if the Patriots are in second place in that division, I don't know. We'll have to see. Because I can see Buffalo at some point kind of running. I know the Patriots have looked good, but I can see them kind of potentially coming down to earth a little bit just because Drake May is so young still, and he doesn't have a great supporting cast around him, and Buffalo playing better than they've played the last few weeks at some point, and maybe turning that division around a little bit more for them. So.
I
But yeah,
mean,
I think the Patriots
honestly,
got the West.
Jags could still win the division. They're only a game behind the Colts.
Yeah.
Colts are 5-1. Jags are 4-2. Like,
When do they play? When do they play each other? What week?
oh, that is a good question.
That'd be an interesting game. Uh, well, they got to play each other twice at some point. So, um,
Jaguars schedule: Rams, Raiders, Texans. Well, I definitely think the Jags are going to lose in that Rams game, but they got a good chance
yeah,
against the next two. Then
yeah.
Chargers, then Cardinals, then Titans. All right, Colts, December 7th. And
Okay.
then they face them again on December 28th.
Wow, 2 times in December. Yeah. So that's going to be interesting. I think that's going to tell the division for sure. Whoever ends up winning
Mm-hmm.
those games is going to end up winning that division. So,
Yeah, the final game they have is against the Titans, which I'm pretty confident they can beat the Titans, but it's that December 28th game that's really going to decide everything.
yeah.
Because, like, even if it's close, like, if the Colts are able to beat the Jags twice, like, even if they're tied, Colts go in. If the Jags are able to beat the Colts twice and they tie, Jags are the ones that get in, because
Yeah.
they'll have the tiebreaker over them.
You have our NFC and AFC championship game predictions and Super Bowl winners from the beginning of the season. Did you write those down?
So I said Eagles and Rams. I'm going to change that. I'm going to say Bucks and Rams.
Okay.
And I said Chiefs and either the Bills or the Ravens. I'm taking the Ravens out. Chiefs Bills AFC Championship once again. Let's run it back.
Interesting. Interesting. I think it's Detroit, Tampa Bay, honestly, in the AFC or in the NFC championship game.
All right,
And
you're
then
taking the Lions over the Rams. Okay.
I am, yeah. I think it's going to be Bucks Lions ultimately when it boils down to it. Although it's so hard to rule the Eagles out. If they win that division, if the Eagles end up winning that division, I can't put anything past the Eagles. They find a way to win. They just do. They're kind of like the Chiefs of the NFC. They just find a way to continue to win. They fucking push, dude. Drives me up the wall. And they ran it fucking 4 times in a row
In a
too. So
row.
like, dude,
Yeah.
this is the most boring football in the world. Like, really? Come on now. I get
And
they're running.
and how many yards did AJ Brown get that game? Like 18 yards, 2
Yeah,
receptions.
it's brutal, dude. So, yeah. So, but I think it'll end up being Bucks and the Lions. I think the Bucks go to the Super Bowl this year. I think there's just something about them that I feel the magic there. And man, God, the AFC is so much harder. I don't know. It's God, it's hard to bet against Kansas
I
City. I mean, I don't know.
mean, I
I mean,
don't know.
everything.
I kind of feel that magic from the Rams too, though.
I mean, it's Buffalo is always feels like they're going to be there just because they got Josh Allen, and at this point with Aaron Rodgers, if they can keep him upright, like the Steelers can sneak their way in there. It could end up being Steelers, the Steelers and the Bills in the AFC Championship game. I could see the Bills and the Chiefs. I don't
Honestly, the
think,
Steelers versus the Rams would be one heck of a Super Bowl.
yeah, yeah.
Matthew
I mean,
Stafford versus Aaron Rodgers.
yeah, yeah. I don't think the Colts are quite good enough to get to the end at this point yet,
Mm-mm.
nor do I think the Patriots are quite built to be in the championship game yet. So,
But the thing
uh,
is that's how I feel about the Lions.
yeah, yeah,
Like the Lions are definitely good enough to make it to the playoffs, but like they've faced so many injuries during the year that by the time you get to the playoffs, the team that the Lions have isn't a Super Bowl team.
yeah.
Now,
And
at
I
the
like
beginning of the
Jared.
year, they absolutely have a Super Bowl caliber team. It's just they don't make it there.
Yeah, and I like Jared Goff, and I think he's a very solid quarterback. I think he's a quarterback you can win a Super Bowl with. I don't think he's the kind of quarterback that goes out and wins you a Super Bowl. He's not a Patrick Mahomes. He's not a not the Lamar Jackson has done it. He's not a Josh Allen, not that Josh Allen has done it. But he's not one of those guys that I think goes out and wins you a game. He's the kind of guy that doesn't lose you a game, but I don't think he's the kind of guy that wins you a game. So, in that regard, yeah. I mean, I don't know. The Chiefs are going to. Patrick Mahomes. It's hard to bet against him, even without the supporting cast. Even at 3-3 so far, third place in that division at this point. I just don't. They're going to end up finding some way to be there. They just are. So, yeah, probably Chiefs and Bills again. But Chiefs and Steelers would be nice. Bills and Steelers would be all right. I can see that. Hey, if the Colts can find a way to keep winning and you get the Colts in there somehow, I mean that's fun. I mean, just for something different, it'd be nice just
I
to have something
mean,
a little bit different. I mean,
I've never liked golf, and I'm never going to like golf.
as a
You,
football fan,
you you got to remember the Rams left St. Louis,
yeah,
and their very first draft pick after leaving St. Louis was
Terry
golf.
South, yeah, yep.
So simply due to that, which he had no control over, and I understand that. Simply because of that, I'm never going to like golf. The team that left me, that was the first person that they drafted after leaving.
That's funny. Yeah. No,
Eh,
I just
But
say,
hey, I lucked out because they left, and I decided to become a Chiefs fan, and then the Chiefs decided to become a good team.
yeah, the only thing I have to say and wrap up on my end is just my team sucks and it's hard to watch them every week. I watch them every week because they fucking suck. I try to, but I listen to them and it's brutal. So,
I really lucked out because before I became a Chiefs fan, the Chiefs sucked. Like they sucked for 5 decades. Like,
yeah, they were
and
one of
I
the
just
original good teams in like the 60s. And then from there on out, for a long time, it was bad. It was bad for a long time. Yeah.
and I just chose to be their fan because I was like, well, they're only 3 hours away. Going to a Titans or a Bears game, that'd be like 4, almost 5 hours. I'll choose the Chiefs. It's only 3 hours away.
All right. So, who you got winning the Super Bowl at this point? You want to pick a Super Bowl winner
Um,
or a Super Bowl game and Super Bowl winner?
best I can do is conference championships because, like, trying to choose who wins the conference championships. Ugh. Like, if any of the teams that I didn't name aren't there, then I'll take the team that I named that is there to win
Right.
and be in
Yeah.
the Super Bowl. But, like, ugh.
Balls take balls take funny bounces and the playoffs are so tough because it's one and out. Like there's
Mm-hmm.
no tomorrow. There's no second game. So just one
Mm-mm.
bad throw, one bad bounce, and all of a sudden your season and that
One
game's
good
over. So
interception.
right, dude, it's so brutal. The team that should win just has an off day for whatever reason, and they don't win, and but everything's in
Quarterback gets sacked
chaos.
6 times. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, yeah. Yep. So no, that's the unpredictability of the NFL, which makes it so much fun. So all right. Anything else you want to say before we wrap it up for the night?
Um,
Who's your mid? Okay, how's this? Who's your mid year or start of the year in? Who's your rookie of the year to this point?
Emeka Egbuka.
No,
Emeka Egbuka. Emeka Egbuka. Man,
no.
that dude's a dog.
Yeah, he is. Although Tyler Warren has looked pretty good for Indianapolis as well. I can't have Tyler Warren, but he's not. I mean, he's not putting up Ibuka numbers, but he looked pretty good. Let's see what else. MVP through the first mid part of the season so far. Who would you say is the front
Um,
runner at this point for the MVP?
who's the front runner? Probably Baker Mayfield, honestly.
Yeah, he's got to be in that conversation for sure. Uh, Saquon Barkley looks really good again. He's running the ball really well still. So I mean, he's got to be in
To the
that
detriment of
conversation
AJ
too.
Brown.
Yeah, yeah, but he's going to be in that conversation. And yeah, I'm trying to think. Um, Who else is in that conversation at the moment right now? I mean, that's some guys would be in the early talk. Like I mean, I don't know. Like, would Drake May's name be somewhere in that conversation at this moment? Just 6 games in,
Uh,
just because of where they're at. Surprisingly, like
the
he's played
names that
so
I'm
well.
hearing are Sam Darnold and oh, who was the other name? There was another name. Oh, I'm spacing on it. Oh crap. But yeah, it's not the usual lineup.
It's not the usual suspects. So, uh, best defensive player in the league so far.
Best defensive player in the league.
The guy that's making the biggest impact so far in the league defensively. That's a tough question. I don't even
That
know.
is a tough question.
And I'm not even sure at this point. I mean, I still think you have the Micah Parsons effect. I don't. His numbers aren't gaudy like they've been in past years, but like just the uplift to that defense and the whole team in general, just is something you got to think about. But yeah, I mean, you got your
Um,
regular defensive backs, the Patrick Surtains of the world, the Jalen Ramseys of the world, that are solid defensive backs. But I don't. So far, there isn't really anybody that I can think of that stood out per se on the
um,
defensive side of the ball for me like that.
according to Google, the current favorite to win is Aiden Hutchinson.
Okay. I mean, yeah, Detroit is
But
definitely there.
I'm going to make a shout out. Nick Bonito. I think
Yeah,
Nick Bonito could surprise us.
that is a name I've been hearing floating around for sure. He's been playing very well. Yeah. No, there's definitely some. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the second half of the season. So, or the second
Mm-hmm.
rest of the season. So, all right. Anything else before I do a little housekeeping and we get up out of here?
Um, we plan to come back when the playoffs are decided.
Yeah, yeah. We'll come back and see where we were sitting at the play. Yeah, how we predictions held up for the playoffs, and then depending on how it works out, if you want to do, we could talk about it offline. Maybe do a couple of playoff watch alongs or something if it works out.
Oh,
Bigger games, that would be cool.
well, sounds fun to me. As long as I'm
As
not with
long as they're
family.
not Chief games, because I know you don't want to watch those on the watchable.
Oh, yeah. We might get booted off air if I get to cursing too bad.
Yeah, it was definitely not fun watching the Cowboys lose on watch alongs. When I was on True Hill Youth Sports a couple times with them, and it was like during Cowboys games, and them not. It's not fun. It's not fun to watch your team lose around a whole bunch of other people, especially when everybody else is enjoying watching your team lose. So it makes it even more frustrating. But all right, so we'll do a little housekeeping and then we will get up out of here. So let's see. Join us every Tuesday night to the cookout, 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 10:30 Eastern. You're here with us now for the cookout. Come for the wrestling, stay for the chaos. We do other stuff, as you can tell, because tonight we're doing NFL mid-season review. We play games, we do interviews, all sorts of other stuff. So always check out the cookout, 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 10:30 Eastern every Tuesday. Friday night, Anika and usually Sammy Joe watch Friday Night Fight or watch SmackDown on Friday night starting at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern in real time and giving you their real time opinions and reactions to the show as they watch it. Saturday morning, the winner's circle bright and early, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. Myself and Nika and sometimes Sammy Joe uh, review AEW Collision and AEW Dynamite from the Saturday and Wednesday before, grade each show and pick a winner and declare them the winner for Winner Circle. And if you scan this QR code, you can get to Linktree, and from Linktree, you can get to all of our social medias on the screen from one place, or you can obviously go to those social media platforms and interact with us, minus the QR code. But if you go to the QR code or scan that code, it'll take you to Linktree. You can get to all of them from one nice little location. And last but not least, if you want to listen to the audio version, let me see if I can get this stupid QR code off the screen. Sorry. If you want to listen to the audio version of the Cookout broadcast or podcast, you can check it out on these podcast platforms. If you don't have time to sit and watch the Cookout, you can always listen to it. Just the audio version.
Yeah, which we don't blame you because we sound better than we look, anyways.
Well, there is that. There is definitely something to be said about that. All right. So we appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you, as always, for joining us here on Workhorse Wrestling Network. And unless you got anything else to say, we'll cut out the lights
Peace,
and
love,
say
and
peace.
rock and roll, my dudes.